Okay, so this is not my idea, but there is one point to it that is my idea. A lot of times they'll use this part here instead of using a screw lock. They'll use the Z-Man deal with the little spinner and all that. This here, I got the spinner off of Timu, the swivels off of Timu, and I believe the uh, screw lock, I got it off Amazon. And then these are just some do it mold Ned worms that I converted into core shots. I don't know if you can see it. Now, let's hold it up to the light. There you can see the core in there. Focus. But you can actually see the core in there. And what I did is I took and I got the split ring and I put the little flashy to the swivel with the split ring. Then I just put it on the screw lock and screwed in the back end of it. And that makes it pretty easy. And then if you hook it up to a Ned head or Ned jig, then you have that. And I have tested it. The Ned worm, because the weight of that, won't stand up like a traditional Ned head. But as it's going through the water, bouncing and everything, that thing's flashing. And then if you don't want to use it that way, you just want to zip it across the water, that thing spins just like a spinner on a spinnerbait or a Panther Martin or Rooster Tail. Any of those that have the spinners, it just spins like crazy in the water. So anyway, I thought it was a pretty good idea when I saw it, and I figured, well, you know what? I don't want to pay and have that plastic little hook deal in there and have to pay for the spinner and all this other stuff. I would rather just do it myself, and then you can kind of customize it however you want. And yeah, it seems to work good. These lock it in there, and they ain't coming out. Even if a fish bites on it, they're the normal screw locks. You can see there. That's a pretty good tug, and it ain't coming out. So, and it works pretty good. So anyway, just one of my ideas. I can't remember what channel it was, but someone else kind of gave me that idea because they were doing pretty much the same thing, other than the way they connected in was with Z-Man spinner, and it kind of almost looks, it's just a piece of plastic that's on the piece of wire, but it almost looks like a jig head bait retainer. You know, that little lead hook that sticks out, or the wire keeper hook that sticks out. And I'm like, I think I like the screw lock better. And I wanted to get a bunch of these because you can take and screw those into the head of some of my baits that are bigger. They don't quite fit on the 2-inch tracer by Angling AI, which I love that thing. That thing looks really cool. And it just deforms it way too much because that's such a big screw in. But on some of the bigger baits, that would work awesome. And then you could almost do a banjo minnow with it. You know, have it attached right to the hook. That's how Banjo Minnow used to do theirs. You know. So anyway, enough of that. As you can see, my mess here. This here is just all kinds of my crud. And this is the tracer, Angling AI tracer. This is the Do It Mold Ned rig and Do It Mold Senko, 6-inch Senko. And I got the laminating plate down there, a bunch of my other colors that I haven't done. Oh, and just so you know what I do, I get a 5-gallon bucket of bait plastic of 242. And then what I do is I put them in these mason jars here, and I vacuum seal them. And then I have them all stored up back there, and water can't get in, nothing else. And then as I go through and I get done, this is my last jar of this round. Then what I'll do is I'll end up getting the 5-gallon bucket, putting them all back in there, and just keep doing that. And that's a good way to keep them stored. Once you open the 5-gallon bucket, it's lost its vacuum. So then water and moisture can get in there, and then you have bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. Well, this way, I don't have that, but you got to shake them up really good or mix them up really good to get all the plastisol from sitting just in the bottom. But anyways, and as you can see up there, I got lots of glitters, and all I have is like Hobby Lobby glitters and Walmart glitters, and I think I got a few little ones from Michaels. And then in my drawers over here, I have the Pearl X and a few off of Temu back here, these little weird ones like that. And these here are Michaels that I got at Michaels. A couple of different weird colors or cool colors. So, like I got one in here. This one here, it's red blue. And that really looks cool when you put it in with clear powder paint and you do your jig heads with it. It kind of has this red color, but then the blue highlight. It looks really sharp. So anyway, that's just my setup. And then that there's sous vide, so whenever I do steaks or something, I just cook them right there in that. And yeah, this here's my little bait area, and it's just inside a car trailer. Oh, and this here's the holiday mold, or the bait from the holiday mold. Here are my 2 holiday molds from Epic Bait Mold. I went ahead and bought 2 of them. And yeah, take a look at that. Ain't that cool? Kind of got a blue highlight to it, clear. That's that color right there. And I used blue, purple, and then disco. That one right there from Walmart, the disco. And yeah, I'm kind of digging that one. So that's pretty cool, I thought. I'm no open pour guy, that's for sure. These are a challenge for me. So anyway, I better get off here. You guys have a good day. Happy New Year. Goodbye.